IMERYS. Take 5 before you act. Meet Nick, a contractor at IMERYS. He is trying to replace a worn V-belt with his bare hands. His coworker Sam, an operator, shouts, "Wait!" Nick should think before he acts and use Take 5 first. Nick knows that Take 5 is a simple thought process to ensure a safe working environment by identifying hazards early and lowering the risk of incidents. However, Nick can't seem to recall all the 5 steps. Sam explains that it's easy. The 5 steps are to think through the task, look for the exposure, assess the risk, take precautions, and do the job safely. First, Nick should think through the task by having a clear plan in mind, by asking what needs to be done. Step 2, Nick should consider how and where the work is done. He should look for the exposure by asking what-if questions. Nick pauses to consider some likely scenarios. What if the motor runs? Well, his hand would get caught, so he should switch off the power source and carry out the standard lockout-tagout practice. In fact, this is one of IMERYS' important Series 6 requirements. Only then can he remove the machine guard to replace the worn belt. However, even with the motor locked out and with safety gloves on, what if his fingers get pinched while replacing the belt? Step 3. Sam gets Nick to assess the risks by reviewing the likelihood of an accident occurring and its potential consequences. Now that the motor running scenario is prevented, Nick pays attention to the pinch point. He knows that his hand can likely get caught while pulling the belt and his fingers severed, making it a high risk. Nick definitely doesn't want that. The 4th step is to take the necessary precautions. To protect himself, Nick decides to use a wrench instead of his hands to rotate the pulley. Excellent! With that, he starts replacing the pulley belt. As Nick is doing the task, oil starts leaking from the motor. Sam reminds him to watch out for changing conditions like this, as Take 5's 5th step is to do the job safely. Nick stops work immediately to repair the leak and clean up the spill so that nobody slips and falls on it. Nick gets it. By doing Take 5, he can greatly reduce the risk of accidents happening. He realizes Take 5 is a great tool to have, even outside of work, like on his drive back home. So remember, make it a habit. Take 5 before you act.